Right. We are live. Whew. I'll be starting at 1 o'clock. So 2 minutes. Okey-dokey. Hey. Got Sean, Query Buddy, Kelly, Gary. Hey, good to see you. All is good my end. Hope all is well yours. Right then, 1300, let's crack on. How's it going? So Khalid's got in there with the first question. I sort of figured this is going to end up with predominantly crypto questions. We'll go through some other stuff in a bit. But so Khalid has said, what do you think Bitcoin will bottom at and when? I don't know. The medium and long-term metrics and on-chain analysis suggest that this is up is next. There's a lot of accumulation happening at the moment. But short-term is different. I mean, the news cycle is somewhat shifting. We're seeing one of the richest people, man in Mexico starting to trying to get his bank to accept Bitcoin and start doing Bitcoin type stuff. Got George Soros is now getting into Bitcoin. That's a good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because he'd probably try and get in a lot lower. So if anyone's going to be pushing it down, it will be George Soros. But yeah, medium to long term, it's very bullish. Short term, it's a bit of a crapshoot. If you're looking at some of the charts at the moment, actually, it's still a bit bearish short term. So everything is in either forming a bit of a double top or sort of a rising compression, which is also bearish. So, for example, if we look at Filecoin, this is causing a bit of this is a bearish setup here. So we should see a little further falling to the south. I know Bitcoin has sort of gone up a bit, but it's been rejected by this trend line here. Quite rightly so. And so I sidestepped probably last week sometime. And I could actually get in now with a little bit more tokens, but I still see in the very short term a bit more falling. So I'm not ruling out. In fact, yeah. So the thing is, when you're sidestepping, is you shouldn't try and you shouldn't bottom pick. Bottom picking in life and in the markets is a shitty activity to do. Just don't do it. You'll never get the all-time bottom. You just got to sidestep all the way down, and that way you'll get more tokens along the way. But yeah, like for example, I said double tops. If you see here on the daily chart, let's go on the 4-hour clearer. Like on Polkadot, for example, we've got this double top here. But the problem with the formation of double tops and double bottoms is that this could also, there's two possible things that can happen. This is why sometimes charting and technical analysis is a bit misleading, because yes, this could be the beginning of a double top, like so, and then we'll see something like this. Or we're seeing potentially the bottoming. Well, we're seeing a bit of compression. So if you're to draw a line, something like this. I'm doing this with my mouse. So this could just be the compression. So we could have a bit more squeezing upwards like this. And then obviously direction is unknown there. Or the third possible outcome here is that this could be the formation of a actually, no. I was going to say inverted head and shoulders, but this would be a bad shoulder. So no, ignore that. So it's a bit too early to tell. I think we've got a bit more falling. So yeah, I guess if you look at Monero as well, this is the sort of slightly different one. Monero could be posting an inverted head and shoulders. As I said, every market is looking a bit different because here right now we've got the shoulder, head, possible shoulder forming, and then we've got the bum line. So we could see something like this. But again, yeah, unfortunately the charts are not showing much. So we just gotta wait. If anything, I think this is probably a bit of a bearish, bearish signal, because if we're looking at the bum line like this, we've got a bit of a compression going on here, which this is bearish. If this is what's forming up, that's quite bearish, because then we'll see move down to base structure. So yeah, short term unknown really, with I guess a vibe of a bit more falling, but medium to long term is really bullish. I mean, if we just get Glassnode out, for my students in the trading pub, I went through a whole bunch of on-chain analytics on Monday. But there's one which I think is one of my favorites. Is this one? This is the stablecoin supply ratio oscillator. So long story short, whenever you where is it? Sorry, ignore me. It's a bit easier to see like this. Whoopsie. Yeah. So basically, you don't really need to worry about what it means. But whenever we see big movement to the downside here, it's a good buying signal. It basically means in the medium term we're going to see a bit of a move upwards. So if I was to get a doodle, how do I do a doodle? Doodle? No, I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Do a bit of a screenshot, and then I can doodle on over here. Whoopsie! This is some old drawings I did. Let's move away. Control V. Here we go. Blow that up. Right. Yeah. So basically, if I was to do some doodles, whenever you see the market being a bit low on this chart, Jesus, what is going on with this? Come back. Yeah. So just look at the orange stuff. So whenever this oscillator gets low, it's what happens to the price. The price, by the way, is this black line here. This stuff. Price goes up. Whenever it peaks up here, we see a bit of a downturn in price. Again, when the market is a bit low like this, see this didn't work out properly on this occasion. So this is the thing with charts and oscillators and stuff like that. They don't always work. So here is an occasion where it didn't work. However, here, and here all resulted into upwards movement. We had a bit of a peak up here, not much of a falling. However, this is where a divergence comes in. So you can see that we have a divergence. So the oscillator is going down, whereas the price is going up. And typically, when you see divergences, you should look at the oscillator, and therefore, very good exiting signal when you see this divergence, because it didn't just stop there; it was really going down. But now we've got a bit of a convergence. So we've got basically this starting to move up, but price going sort of sideways or slightly down a bit. Therefore, we could see a little bit of a dip down, basically just to scare the shit out of everyone and get more supply side. Get everyone shorting so people can then gobble up the buy book. But yeah, so it's a good indicator that. Right. Let's go through the questions. Unshare. Here we go. Is it true Ripple likely to be the bridge currency for CBDC? No idea. I'm completely out of touch with Ripple. I just don't like it. So, and also, there's going to be lots of different CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. There'll be basically, crypto pound, crypto dollar, crypto euro, crypto yuan. So I don't know which one you mean. Tom, nothing to hold you to, oh dear. But if we were to reach 100k in December, first of all, I'll win a £2,000 bet with my mate if we hit 100k by the end of the year. What price do you see Bitcoin being at the end of July? No idea. No idea, mate. How quick will the run be? So the run to 100k will be very fast, but like we know with crypto, 80% of the move happens the last 20% of the time. So it'll probably do not much, trickle upwards until September time. Then October, November, December, boom. So that's always what happens, mate. Always. Tom, sorry, but I bottom picked ADA and went long on futures from 101. Ha! Amazing. Good effort, mate. Good effort. So, Miguel, are you all in on crypto or are you also dabbling in stocks and forex? It's interesting that I've been a currency trader for over 16 years now. And earlier this year, I drained all of my accounts. I literally took every money out of stock. So I had some Tesla stock, not anymore. Took it all out of my currency accounts. And I've just plopped it all into crypto. So yeah, but I will be rebalancing sort of December, January time. Query Bertie, oh, by the way, the person that created Alter Carbon is from Heatherset. Really? That is cool. It is like one of my favourite box sets. Series 2 is a bit shit. Series 1 was really good. So, Khalid, where do you see gold going by the end of the year? I don't know. Gold is too manipulated. It really is. It's in lockstep with the financial market. So whatever happens with stocks happens with currencies. So if we just get TradingView out again, and we just look at the S&P 500, such a manipulated long, it's ridiculous. And then we overlay gold. Here we go. There is a very high correlation to gold and stocks. So typically, it has been in lockstep. We had the big old crash. So this crash over here, the March 2020 crash in the stock markets, gold also crashed, and then big old V recovery in terms of price, not the economy. The economy flatlined, stocks V recovered. So, but then again, look at some of my previous macrometric videos on that. So it is in lockstep. Every time you see these little sell-offs in the stock market, you see it in gold as well. However, this one preceded the stock market, which is interesting. That doesn't normally happen. So at some point it will disconnect, but I just don't know. I don't know, and I don't really care because I'm just all in on crypto, and I from where I sit, because I look at everything from a first principles point of view. It's pointless being in anything else that's not making at least 25% per year. Pointless. Look at the global currency supply. They're inflating the currency supply circa 20-25% per year. Therefore, in order to remain flat and not lose wealth, you need to be making at least 20-25% per year. Don't believe me? Just go to Trading Economics. And just let's try and find, I don't know, M2 growth. Just type that in. Let's see what happens. No results. Great. Markets, forecast, currencies. It'll be here somewhere. No. Wait, I'll just type in M2, see what happens. Here we go. Let's look at more. Screw it. Let's just click America. What is the growth? I know it's just going up, but I want to see what is the yearly growth as in percentage. We could work it out, but long story short, it's not helping. Damn it. One last thing. I'll try it over here, M2, see if it's on. Oh, it is. Okay, so it's on TradingView. Let's get rid of gold. Right, so this is M2. Let's move it over to the monthly chart so it's a bit thicker. Now, can we do it in percentage terms? Yes, we can. So, if we were to simply just draw a line from, let's do a vertical line. 1, 2. Oh, come on. Don't make me. TradingView, whoever codes it, please create shortcuts for TradingView. It's really annoying that you can't have keyboard shortcuts. Look at this. So if you were to basically look at this chart, oh no, percentage doesn't really help. Screw it, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So the old-fashioned way, literally just from 2018 to 2019, what happened? So we had, let's just do by this number scale, 14,470 minus 13,869 divided by 13,869 times 100. Okay, so it was only a 4.3% increase over here. Then we had 15,390 minus. Sorry about this, folks. This is probably really boring for you, isn't it? 14,451 divided by 14,451. That was a 6.4% growth there. But then in 2020, it just went nuts. It's got to be something 20 odd percent. 434 minus 15,390 equals divided by 15,390. Yeah, 26%. So last year, the US inflated its currency supply by 26%, which means if your investments made you less than 26% ROI, then you lost money. And by the way, this is only going to increase. I mean, just look at my previous videos about shitcoins and Argentina, etc. This doesn't stop, by the way. This cadence only increases. Only increases. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get off of that. Right, let's go through some of these questions. Richard, hi Simon, how do you foresee regulation being introduced into crypto? Do you think this will be anytime soon? No, the FCA are incredibly slow with what they do. So they'll try and do these knee-jerk reactions, a bit like trying to attack, like they're going after Binance and stuff like that. But it's going to take a while before they really get their gear, their gears going, so to speak. But there's always a workaround. Can you move the logo on the top left? I don't know how to do that, mate. I'm sorry. In fact, I can try. Stand by. Show logo? No. There we go. Done. Logo gone. So, John Simpson, any view on how Binance on-off ramp for fast payments UK will resolve? Looks like no UK customers can make deposits, withdrawals. Also uncertain. What's the best way around this? Just send your crypto to another exchange. So if you got, Bitcoin, send it to Kraken or Coinbase. Then you'll be able to on/off ramp. Sarah, howdy. Good to see you. Richard, is your RT trading group a minimum 12-month commitment, or do you do any shorter trials of this? No, it's 12 months. And the reason being is that context, I say this all the time, context is so important. If you have someone that joins our community for a couple of months, because there's so much to learn, you just won't know it all, and you won't get the full context, and you won't have the necessary skills. So if you were to look at the here we go. There's a sort of rite of passage, I guess, in RT. So if we were to look at our portal, login. Come on. Yeah, so go to training. There is a lot of information. So you got to look at the RT community like it's a uni degree, but that's actually useful. So it's a uni degree that will actually make you money. It doesn't take 3 years, and it won't cost you 50 grand, which is what all bullshit uni degrees are doing these days. And so there's a lot of content here. There's a lot of things you need to learn. And what I find is that those that skip through the videos and don't consume the content properly end up making mistakes. And they end up just not doing very well. So you need a year to. I mean, it takes you a couple of months just to get through all of the learning, and then you need to practice it. And also, because I invest. We do two things basically in RT. We trade and we invest, and so there's a big difference. You need to know the difference between both. And so sometimes this is why I'm not that active on Twitter, because no one understands anything on Twitter. Like, I could post something, but they don't understand the methods I'm doing and the time frame I'm looking at it. So I could say, yeah, we should be, I'm bullish on, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. But then the market would go down the next day and they go, ha, you said you're bullish, you're wrong, you're so useless. And I'm like, well, time frames, context is everything. So, and also there's most of the value of the realistic trader community is stuff which I can't really put into words. So if you go to RT, so therealistictrader.com, scroll to the bottom, and here you can see we've got 209 reviews. Nearly all of them 5-star, and just read a lot of them. Just read them, and you'll see a lot of the reviews are, this is so much more than just trading. This is so much more than just blah. And I can't put into words what it is. I think it's about life and in general. So have a little look see. So that's that. Martin H, use the ruler. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I had a late night and a late rise. I could have just used the ruler. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So if you, for TradingView, click this bottom one here, date and price pattern. I could have just done this. Yeah, that would have saved me a lot, or your time especially. Oops. Yeah, sorry. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I should remember that. Cheers, Martin. Khalid, what do you think will cause the next big crash and when, sir? Don't know when. And the cause, it will be a black swan event of some sort. It nearly always is. Something comes left field. And it just pops bubbles. So it's like the whole world is in a worse situation than it was in 2008 by a country mile. So it just takes anything to pop something. And it could be anything. It could be the auto loan bubble, the student debt bubble, the pension bubble. It could be the debt bubble. Like, there's so many bubbles, it's ridiculous at the moment. Tony, are you mainly bullish on just Bitcoin or ETH? I'm more bullish. I'm bullish on crypto full stop. Remember, it's the underlying infrastructure which I'm really bullish on. Just like the internet, we had all sorts of scams and bubbles that popped. But the thing that was really the game changer was the internet, not the companies that are on it. So I'm bullish on crypto. And so when you're looking at all these alts and whatever, they're just, like new companies that were coming, like when we had the tech bubble. But yeah, Bitcoin is, the big old oil tanker. That's not going to disappear anytime soon. But alts will always grow faster, always. So that's why I don't own Bitcoin. Miguel, after the trial, it's worth it. Working towards becoming a member to further my learning. Cool. Good to have you here. Oh, yeah, you've done the trading test drive recently. Cool. Richard, do you have any tips on how to find good reputable suppliers online for clothing, for example, for our business? I'm not sure. I'm just not a fan of doing product, like physical product type businesses. And I've done, by the way, I've got lots. I've done loads, and I've still got a few physical sort of stuff. And I hate it. Any equipment or physical widget-based businesses, I just find it's just not me. I prefer not to have stock. And also, like, I've got friends who are absolutely screwed at the moment. So I've got friends that sell. Oh man, what is their URL? I can't remember. They sell fancy lights from Bali. They've got a weird name. So that's number one thing. Don't have a weird spelling URL because no one will remember it. Just like me. And they're our friends. I can't even remember their website. But yeah, they sell these beautiful lamps all the way from Bali. And they used to spend something like 4,000. So they get these big old shipping containers, fill it to the brim. And it'll be like £4,000 or £5,000 a container. And I spoke to them the other day. And it's now about 16 to 18 grand a container. And also, they have to go over to Bali to do all their picking. And and they can't do that at the moment. And so that's the thing. If you ship from abroad for quality control, you need to be over there. You need to actually go to the country, look at the factory, look, shake hands with the owner, stuff like that. You can't rely on Alibaba, or you can, but you're going to be paying the price. And then there's the language barrier. So, for example, one of the ladies, so there is a lady, and she is one of the most formidable business owners I've ever met. Her name is Lara Morgan, and I love her. She's awesome. So if you go to YouTube and type in Siam Kid, Lara Morgan, I interviewed her a few years back. Where's the full interview? Yeah, do this one. And she's a beast. She's a business beast. She's been in business for 20 plus years. She's done really well. She recently, within the last few years, she sold her business for 20 million quid cash, which is, epic. And so she's doing just angel investing at the moment. And basically, I remember her saying one story where she got a big deal. So she is selling all, the little shampoo bottles in hotel rooms. So she got a big old order. And so she placed the order in China. And what happened is thousands of bottles arrived to the hotel. And then the hotel owner called up and was like, what do you think you're doing? Blah, blah, blah. And it turns out every bottle of shampoo is only half filled with shampoo. Because whoever was in the factory in China thought, oh yeah, you don't need more than a whole bottle of shampoo. So they just half filled all of the bottles. It's ridiculous. And I've had ridiculous language barriers and stuff like that before. So yeah. Richard, what's a trading test drive? In fact, every now and then I hold this thing called the trading test drive. So if we go over here, I'll put the link in. Oh, there is no chat box, is there? I'll try. Can I do this? I don't know where it's going, but yeah, so every now and then I hold a thing called a trading test drive. And the format changes somewhat. So I like changing different things, but this is it. So on the dates are here somewhere. Sorry, there's my own landing page. It'll be down here. Yeah, here we go. So Tuesday the 6th of July at 12 o'clock. So yeah, at midday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from the 6th to the 8th of July, I'm doing these live sessions, and I'm basically going to teach you, take a brand newbie that knows nothing about trading to being actually all right within 3 days. And then, yeah, so have a look at that. Now, please, 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 only do this if you're actually serious about learning. As I said, if you're like a trading tourist and you can't be asked to learn, you can't be asked to put the time and effort into implementing what you learn, etc., you'll never be good at trading. So, I only want to work with people that are serious, people that will actually put the time and effort in. So yeah, if that is you, then definitely check it out. And also, before you do this, read the note. As I said here, note 2. Trading is not for everyone. In fact, it's something most people should avoid. Trading also isn't a good cash flowing income source to begin with. So only get into this if you understand that it's a life skill that really takes 3 to 7 years to get really good at, just like any other complex skill set. That is really important. So yeah, if you've already done the trial, no, you've already done this, so you don't need to do it again. So right, let's have a look. Any other questions? I don't know what this Nightfall is talking about. Talking about virgins in the chat. Let's hide that. So Facebook user said, "Hi, could you answer this question that I posted in the group, please? I don't know what your name is, and I can't click on that link for some reason." I can't click on it, mate. So could you just elaborate on that, please? Aaron, hey buddy. Right. Oh, Nightfall said, "What's microeconomics?" So, Matt, I think I said it's probably what. Nah, I can't talk today. I said macroeconomics. So macroeconomics is basically the whole world, the global economics, basically. And I guess if you were to, microeconomics is stuff that happens within, I've never really, in fact, I'm not sure. I've never heard of the term microeconomics. Obviously, it's a real thing, but I'm not sure how micro it means. I mean, like microeconomics could be between two people, or it could be a branch. So, yeah, of individuals and firms. Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's just a smaller data set, basically. It's all about, so macro and microeconomics is all about the data set. So macroeconomics is the whole globe. So there's a huge data set there and lots of different variables. And obviously, the more zoomed in you get, you have less variables, etc. So, someone's calling me. It could be someone on the stream. Nope, it's Ellie's mum. I'm sorry, Ellie's mum, but I'm on a live stream. That's my mother-in-law. Right. Richard, with Brexit and increasing importing costs / agreements, I wonder if we will see more UK-based manufacturing businesses and start moving back towards making our own products. I really hope we do. I hope that is the case, because it would be great to start manufacturing stuff again. But if you're going to start setting up a manufacturing type business, I would try and be smart this time. Don't just go back to the old school ways of trying to do a big can you do things differently? So can you 3D print stuff? Can you, there must be a smarter way around it if you're looking into getting into sort of some form of manufacturing of some sort. But yeah, I think 3D printing is still very immature as an industry, but it's got huge potential. Aaron, very kind words. Right. Hey, Steve. Alex, best excuse ever to dodge a mother-in-law call. Why did you? Should I pick it up? Oh no, she's gone now. Yeah. So that's that. Khalid, one of my 5 to 10 favorite alts. I hate this question. I'm going to answer it though. The questions I hate are, what are my favorite alts and when is it going to boom? They're the questions I get all the time. And the reason why I don't like it is that it encourages lazy thinking, if that makes sense. Here it is. So, you have to. A better question would be, why do I like them, etc. But then I've already put it on YouTube. Just check out my Kryptonian portfolio. That's why I'm in them. But I guess these are my plays. So I've got a bit more money in these ones. Oh, you can't see my screen. Stand by. Yeah. So on the left-hand side over here, I've got a bit more. So 60% of my portfolio in these. 30% of my portfolio in these, and this 10%, I don't really care. So I've only got like $1,000 in each one, but it's more of a tracker. And they will all grow way faster than Bitcoin. So what I'd like to do, or what I do, is I'll basically take cash out of any of these that boom and then put them into the proper ones. Oh, hey, fever. I got my nose is just endlessly running. 1 second, I've got to. Right, back in the room. Okay. I've got like a bunged up voice at the moment because, anyway. Right. Richard, do you know quite a lot of people are bullish on Kusama? Isn't it a replica test platform of Polkadot? Yes, it is. It is indeed. So yeah, I'm in KSM as well. But it is flowering to be quite a good network. Graham said, at the start of the pandemic, you recommended everyone to move their stocks pension to cash due to what you thought at the time would be an imminent crash. Do you still believe this, or has the quantitative easing pushed this out / stopped this, in your opinion? Yeah, so it's a great question, Graham. So I think, again, this is why. So my trading students fully understood what I meant, whereas I guess the general public misconstrued that whole message or that video that I put out. Now that's my bad. Okay, so I should have probably explained it a lot better. So what actually happened? I'll share my screen again so I can see some doodles. So you can see some doodles. Let's get out of here. Let's get some random. So what happened was I said, yeah, there's a disconnect. There's a massive disconnect with what happened in March 2020. So, and the disconnect is basically between the stock market, or stocks, we can also put property in here as well, and the actual economy. So what actually happened with stocks is that we had big old sell-off in March, and then we had crazy, gigaboom, uber boom. But if you look at literally every single economic indicator on the planet, we flatlined. And we still are flatlining, as in, or going down. But it's like, so there's this big old disconnect. So the economy is in a worse state than it was last year. Way more debt, way more margin debt, less employment. It's just ridiculous. Now, why has that happened? Because they had to turn on the printing presses, and they inflated the currency supply by 26%. I mean, I'm going to focus on the US because it is pretty much the world at the moment. So because they had to turn on the printing press, they had to put a load of bandages and plasters over some very, deadly, fatal wounds. So, for example, in the UK, we got bloody furlough. Like, if there was no furlough, unemployment would have been even worse. I mean, this is the worst economic depression in recent human history. And when I say recent, I'm talking about over the last couple of 100 years. When you look at the percentages, it's worse than the 1929 Great Depression. So, in many ways. So what's actually happened is, if you look at stock prices and property prices, this is not ROI. This is simply price inflation. That's it. I had to explain this to some people the other day. Like, they couldn't understand, which is no biggie. When someone can't understand something, it's not that person's fault. It's the teacher's fault. So whoever's trying to explain a concept or an idea, it's always the explainer's fault if they can't convey a message or a concept. So this is something that always bounces around my head. So when I meet people that don't get things, this is my fault. Okay, and I'm constantly trying to work on different ways to explain it. So I think so I'll start with a high level, and then I'll sort of work down slightly. So the only thing you really need to know, which for crypto, for economics, full stop these days, is that if the currency supply does this, the purchasing power of that currency supply does this. Okay? But then one step further, if the currency supply is doing this over here on the left, and it's just going nuts, if you were to look at prices, if you just a yellow one, the prices of stuff that you buy also go up. Whereas, however, the intrinsic value of stuff will depending on what it is, will either be flat or it will go down. Okay? So this is like the highest level type concept thing. And the easiest way to explain it, I think, is the Mona Lisa. So the Mona Lisa, how many of them are there? There's literally just one Mona Lisa. She's looking pretty moody. There we go. That's Mona. Now, there's only one Mona on the planet, and I don't know, she's probably worth 100 million euros of some sort. So, these stats aren't correct, but I'm just gonna do this to labour the point. If the currency supply is here, and the Mona Lisa is worth 100 million euros, but then over the next 5 or 10 years, the currency supply does this, and it 3x's, what do you think will happen to the price of the Mona Lisa? It will go up. Now, it won't be completely correlated. It won't go up 3x, but the price of the Mona Lisa will go up simply because the amount of currency sloshing around has to go somewhere. And so this is the big difference between the word inflation and also deflation. The newspapers don't have a clue what it means, because inflation is two things. It's either supply inflation, i.e. the currency supply is going nuts, or you get price inflation. There's two things. So what's happened in the stock market, as I said over here, this is simply price inflation. So due to the currency supply inflation. So when people say, oh, we don't have inflation at the moment, inflation's like 0.5% or whatever, it's bollocks. Inflation is when they're talking about price inflation, it's about the things that you buy. It's not the CPI, as in the basket of goods, the CPI, sorry, the Consumer Price Index. It is a CPI. So what has happened to the price of everything that you buy? It's gone up. Petrol prices, food, shipping, like anything is basically gone up. Same with stocks and property. So there's been massive hyperinflation in stocks and property, and it's been compounded. So it's even worse. So you have stocks doing this, you have property doing this. What are incomes doing right now? Income streams. So incomes are flat or down. It depends who you are, what sort of sector you're in, and what country you're in. But across the board, I think everyone here can agree that people are earning less. Yeah, I would actually say, let's be real. People are earning less. I mean, hell, we've got furlough. I mean, loads of people are on furlough. We've got hundreds of thousands of people on furlough. So not only are you earning less, we have hyperinflation or massive inflation in stocks and commodities and property. And the money that you're earning is dropping off a cliff in terms of purchasing value. So if you're earning £10 an hour, well, guess what? Your £10 an hour is worth a lot less. It's worth basically 25% less than it was last year. So really, you're working for £7.50 an hour. I know £10 an hour is entering your bank account, but the purchasing value you have is actually £7.50. And when you combine that with the asset prices and commodity prices going up, we have massive hyperinflation right now. Well, okay, that's a bit extreme. We have huge inflation, and it will lead to hyperinflation. So this goes back to the question of, am I in stocks, am I in currencies, etc.? No, I'm not, because I'm thinking about this logically. Let's say I have my my FX account, and I'm trading. So what can I make with my trading in a good year? Because I'm a very lackadaisical trader, so I'll probably spend 5 minutes a day. And I'm not day trading. I day trade sometimes, but on a good year, I'll make anywhere from 10 to 30% ROI. But let's be realistic. Oh, not realistic. Yeah, that is realistic on a good year. But what's the hurdle? The hurdle right now is 25%. So is my trading going to consistently be more than 25%? No. Even if I had a good year and made 30%, well, guess what? I'm 5% up net. So is it worth my time? No. Stocks, yeah, it would probably do a bit better maybe. But when you then compare, when you marry all of this, lower incomes, rapid price inflation, etc., to everything, and you have this hurdle of 25%, you're a freaking moron if you're playing with anything that doesn't make you more than 25% a year. I know I'm being really aggressive here, but I'm trying to make a point. The quicker you can understand that every person on this planet right now has a 15 to 25% hurdle, you're losing money if you're not making more than 10, 15, 25% a year. So property rules that out because that's not a given. Stocks, maybe. Only some stocks. So this is why, in fact, let's look at stocks quickly. You basically have two classes of stocks these days. When you see all of the stock, yes, the stock market is rising, and if you look at any, the S&P 500, etc., the Nasdaq, it's all gone nuts. But all of that, all the price inflation in stocks has gone to one place. It's gone to the FANG stocks: Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, pretty much, and all the other things. And so these are typically companies that sell intangible products. So they are not affected by the rapid rising of commodity prices and import and logistics around the world. They're not shipping shit, if that makes sense. Well, mind you, Amazon is, but it's still basically a tech company. So all of these have gross marginal costs, like very little gross marginal costs. So they're getting all of the rallying. So you have, the FANG stocks which are doing this, and they're flourishing because they are growing more than 20% a year. But then you have value stocks, which, if you have any odds, if you have a company that's only growing 15% per year, or it's actually losing, let's say we're using the 25% hurdle, it's losing 10% net per year, which is why the price is only going slightly. So you've got to look at all of this. And so when you take the biggest picture, the biggest macro picture, and you realize that the global currency supply is being dumped into the toilet. You're having hyperinflation or massive inflation in various asset classes, and you have this huge 25% hurdle. You have to store your money in something which is not being inflated away, and also for something that was going to make you more than 25% a year. This is why I'm all in on crypto. It's the only Noah's Ark out there right now. Business, getting good at business, and crypto is the only Noah's Ark that will save us right now. This is why I have to talk about the WAP. The WAP has never been more important than now. Although it's very underutilized, the WAP has literally everything you need to know to basically weather yourself in this freaking shitstorm, which has just started, by the way. And what the WAP came around 10 years ago when I knew nothing about business, etc. I sat down and wrote a list. I started listening to loads of audiobooks, etc. And I wrote a list. Okay, if I want to become a billionaire, what skill sets and knowledge sets do I need to learn? I need to learn blah, 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 blah. And I saw patterns with all these successful business owners, not ones that I met, I saw in audiobooks, and also successful business owners in real life that I managed to meet. And they all had commonalities. What were the commonalities? They knew all of these different skills. So I wrote them all down. Well, guess what? The WAP covers all of these skills. Where is my notepad? It'll take too long to find. But I've still got my original notepad. I wrote down all these skill sets. Well, that's what the WAP is. The WAP is basically your sort of assimilation portal where you can basically get ahead of the curve. So you learn, even in the free video trial section, it talks about all sorts of stuff, demographic spending waves, the business sweet spots. I mean, oh God, this is going to take forever. But there's just so much that you need to, that hell, even the intro videos teach you. And hell, I set up a brand new business from scratch and grew it, sharing every single thing. We properly lifted the skirt up here. We shared every stat and how we grew this business in an alien sector that we've never done before. But if we go back to the WAP map, you learn everything from how to set up a business in the correct order, the different entrepreneurships, Facebook marketing, online, offline marketing. There's everything you need, whether it will be from life hacks to investing to trading to tax, love languages. That's really important, how you deal with people, basics of property, tech, staff, M&A. There's all sorts of it here. So you need it. You really do. So for me, let's go back to Graham's original question. Yeah, so what did I do? I sold everything. I moved to cash back in 2020, Graham. And guess where I put it? I put my cash in crypto. And the cash that I put into crypto in early 2020 has absolutely ballooned compared to everything else on the planet. So, yeah, that's my long answer to that question, mate. Hopefully it makes sense. So, Aaron, looking to expand within the next couple of months, possibly Xmas, would you start training staff for new location beforehand or secure new location and usage, which is 3 months first, factor in another 6 weeks for construction, etc.? I think it'll be a blend of both, mate. Like you can teach like anything you can. Yeah, in fact, I don't know how long it'll take to properly train them up and how much of that you need to be in person or physical, but you need to delay it as much as you can so you're not bleeding costs. But yeah, try and do as much online learning as possible. Like create some tutorial videos so that they can do before you meet in person to save time, etc. So yeah, sorry, I just need a bit more context for that one. Sorry. Tom, what can you tell us about Yearn, finance coin, given it reached higher value than Bitcoin, 80k? I'm surprised I don't hear much about it. Yeah, it's just a DeFi coin. Yeah, ignore the price. That's just a tokenomics thing. So let's have a look. If it reached 80k, I'm guaranteeing you that it had a lower max supply than Bitcoin. So let's try and find Yearn. I've got Yearn, but very little. But yeah, look at this. It's got a total supply of 36,666 coins. So, of course, it's going to have $80,000 a coin at the peak. It's going to be it will always be a higher price than Bitcoin. Like if the market cap keeps on increasing, simply because look at the circulating supply, basically 36,000 coins. So of course, if you put a couple of billion into this, the price is going to go nuts. So it's just a tokenomics question there, mate. Like I could create one coin, a coin with max supply of one, and as long as the market cap was, if I had a market cap of 200 grand, that coin will be 200 grand. So, right. Oh, big question from Alex. What's your take on this? Prior to COVID, most of the economy was service-based, and during lockdowns, people focused on goods, ordering stuff to be shipped to them. That combined with the fact that most businesses have lean production, they were unable to fill orders, so they ordered more raw goods, i.e. more goods, equals price inflation. Yeah, that's good. There were also, don't forget to add to that, there were supply squeezes. Because there's less supply, because China stopped working, literally dropped tools for a couple of months, and America dropped tools. China and America make most of the world's stuff, basically. And they just dropped tools for a couple of months back in 2020. So there's less supply and then more demand. And so you have that supply squeeze. However, since the world is starting to open up and move about, the focus is going back to services, flights, holiday, yeah. So I agree. However, everyone is bloody thumb and bum, mind in neutral. And they're thinking, oh, we're not going to have lockdowns again. Everyone is going to get wildly shocked again when we're locked down in the winter. It's going to happen. I'll bet anyone £1,000 that will be in lockdown again in winter. I'll put my money where my mouth is. Anyone want to take me up on that? I've been spot on with all my lockdown predictions since April last year. We will be in lockdown again this year. And everyone's going to be, what? Why? Everyone's vaccinated. Why are we in lockdown again? Cue some bullshit excuse by the government. Yeah. Again, it will be the same. They'll let us out for a bit in summer. They'll lock us down like a soft, tier 3, tier 4, whatever. And then they'll let us out again to do some shopping in December. Then they'll blame us. And then they'll hard lockdown again. Ooh, Steve. Right. Haha. Steve has taken the bet. Right, we need off. Let's do this. Let's do this, baby. Well, after the stream, like privately, we'll talk about terms because we need to be specific about dates and also the ferociousness of the lockdown. But yeah, game on. Yeah, nice. Here we go, Frank Sinclair. The scientists have been spot on, not you. There'll be no other lockdown. You haven't read your science. Let's not turn this into a COVID thing. But I've been spot on since, with all of the lockdowns, I've been spot on within a couple of weeks. Yeah. Right. Hilarious. Richard, what's the risk? So Richard said, what's the reason for your transition from risk capital only a couple of years back to all in on crypto? Well, the reason being is that crypto has been de-risked. In 2017, it was a volatile and risky asset, but now it's just a volatile asset class. It's not risky anymore. We've now got banks, billionaires, and countries plowing into this. So, yeah. Right, what's the time? It's almost been an hour. Right. Alex, make it a public bet. Use DeFi. Yeah, we should. Frank Sinclair, I can't comment on your Facebook. You're a conspiracy theorist. See, here's the thing. It's interesting here. So, one question, please. Can you, when you say I'm a conspiracy theorist, can you sort of elaborate on that? Like, what conspiracy theories do I have? But the other thing, this comment where he says the science has been spot on, not you. This is, I think I said this last week in one of the live streams. One of the biggest travesties that's happened over the last year is the silencing of debate. It's the silencing of questioning, which is probably the worst thing that's ever happened to the science community. What is science? Science is effectively the religion of questioning everything relentlessly until you have undisputed facts. Like, there's a good saying that, if you burned every single science book and webpage and, just every single book about science, and you burned every Bible and religious scripture, and so it completely just didn't exist anymore, within a couple of thousand years, or within 1,000 years, or a few hundred years, nearly all of the science would be back in place, whereas none of the religion books would be. So, and why is that? Science is about coming up with theories, or postulating theories and then testing them, looking for real world data, and questioning. That's what peer review science is. It's a bunch of scientists saying, "Hey, here's a theory. What do you think?" And then everyone else questioning it until it's unrefuted, I guess is the correct word. Whereas what we're having right now is that even someone questioning stuff, you're immediately labeled as a conspiracy theorist. When you're not, when you have so many eminent scientists that are just questioning stuff. They're not saying necessarily, this is all a scam, yada, yada, yada. But there's lots of very well-respected scientists who have spent their whole lives just doing their field. They're simply questioning things, and they're just getting silenced. They're getting their social media accounts blocked, banned. They're getting smear campaigned up the yin-yang. Like hell, the inventor of the mRNA vaccine is now saying that you should be really cautious about getting a jab. This is the freaking inventor of this mRNA vaccine. He's saying that the spike proteins are going straight to the ovaries and bone marrow, which it shouldn't happen. So there needs to be more research. That's all he's saying. He's not saying that this is all a big scam. He's just saying there needs to be way more data because there simply isn't enough. So, yet what's happening to him? He's getting absolutely smeared. And there's there's loads of doctors, very well-respected people. Hell, look at the Great Barrington Declaration and all the thousands of scientists there that were just asking questions. So yeah. So Frank, Samantha, it'll be a variation of lockdown, so they can say we're not locked down and pay businesses as in November last year. So not pay businesses, yeah. Frank says your crypto is great, but where's all this conspiracy nonsense come from? I don't know what conspiracy nonsense you're on about, mate. But it's great that we can have an open debate without getting emotionally heated, which is what I see on Facebook all the time. I don't talk to emotional people. Frank, I read the science last March. It said 18 to 24 months for the exit out of a pandemic. And here we are. We're not out yet, mate. We're still in it. We're still in lockdown. They just delayed it by another 4 weeks and cue more excuses. But yeah, let's have a chat again in December, January. And yeah, time will Show us. No scientists are saying another lockdown this winter. I have to go. Yeah. I think you'll eat your words, mate. Right. I think that's the end of the chats. Yeah, let's keep it to an hour. I hope today's helped. And yeah. There's one last that just popped in. Darren Jamrock. Cool name, Jamrock. Thoughts on how you manage multiple portfolios for best performance, which include cryptos, stocks, and ETFs. So I'm not any ETFs or stocks simply because I'm all in on crypto. But please do go to YouTube. Type in Siam Kid. Come on. Oh my lordy. Click my face, go to playlists, and in the crypto playlist, where is the crypto playlist? Scroll right down to the bottom, and you'll see Siam's Kryptonian portfolio. So this basically explains how I choose my stuff and what I go in. And then I guess a follow-up to that one is if you look at this one, Crypto Tutorial for Absolute Beginners. I talk about my portfolio a bit more in there as well. Right. I'm just going to stop the screen share so I can see you folks. Cool. Tom says, Frank, Simon just throws in the grenade, to be fair. It's the comments that bring out the conspiracy theories to get overly emotional. Yeah, that's true. I do treat Facebook like a bit of a social experiment. That's right. I do like putting controversial stuff out there, but you'll see that I don't really engage in the comment threads. I just like to... It's like my little pulse on the world, basically. I like to see what goes on. But yeah, thanks. I hope it helps, and I will see you all soon. And Frank Sinclair, please don't disappear. Let's keep this chat going over the next few months. It'll be interesting to see what plays out. Right.